Guys, deluded YouTube's N'Golo Kante. I'm back again. Thank you very much for watching me. Now, what was I gonna say to you guys? Now we know English clubs in particular are having a problem keeping hold of their starred players or their best young prospects for the future. I mean, typically we go back 5 or so years ago, they would tie down these players. We know of all their potential. They would be involved in pre-season. They might be on the bench, but ultimately it hasn't. The trajectory to first team just hasn't been there for many clubs, and young players are taking it on their own back now. It doesn't matter what club in the Premier League, even clubs below that. You do look at Jeff Hurst, left Sheffield Wednesday and departed and went to Belgium. People are making the bold moves. Whether these things pay off or not, we don't know, because people need to get this thing out of their heads that just because you depart a club that you're not getting first team football and you go abroad, it means you're going to be happy days. It's not. There's been people before that have gone abroad and it hasn't happened. Not every young player is going to bang and be a madness. But away from all of that, I like to see it because obviously you look at, I don't know, anyone in South America. When it comes to players on nation by nation, English players are probably they probably are. It's probably a fact that with the least most travelled people collectively in football terms. It's just on the basis of, if he was to say how many English players are playing in the league, I couldn't tell you. I'm shuffling. Even if there is one, I'd be amazed. Do you get what I'm saying? Versus if you say how many, I don't know, how many Italians or how many Germans or how many Colombians or many other countries, you get the point in it, or Ivory Coast, or just many different things in it. We haven't done that, so I like to see that, because the more people that do that, the more, if there was a stigma, not that I believe, it gets fingied, it gets thrown apart, and the more people are doing that, the more options you have. And I just want to see young players, whether I know about them or not, get chances, man. I mean, you look at Lookman. I love Lookman. He done his dirt at Charlton. He went to Everton initially. It looked like his happy days. Two different managers that have in Sam Allardyce, and who's the new manager now? Everton. Who's the new Everton man? Marco Silva. Silva rates him, but he hasn't really been involved, and he wants to go back to Leipzig. So things like that impresses me. But specific to Arsenal, oh man, it annoys me, man. It annoys me that we're not tying down our players. We've been here with George McGrain to a degree when he went to Barcelona, because he had a couple years left on his deal. Gnabry, Jeff, João Virginia, Marlon, Benacia, Josh De Silva. The following trend has been, we either sell these players for pennies or they depart on a free transfer. So there is a laxed approach in all contracts in general at this club. I mean, who used to run contracts or is whatever is doing, it's nonsense, because players that are average and should be moved on at first team level are given new deals, making it impossible. Players that are actually talented, we like letting them leave on the free transfer in January. And somehow players that are not are tied down till 2020, and I haven't played that for this football club at any level in years, Jenkins said, at first team level. So it baffles me genuinely how we look at how our approach to contracts and stuff are. Obviously, contracts are very delicate, and very more detailed than we like to think. You got agents, you got games of power and Willy Won't. You've got bare different stuff in regards to being an agent in it. So a football agent. So it's ignorant and it's naive for us to just be harsh on a club how they deal with agents, or how agents deal with clubs or players residing and stuff, because that's technically three parties between the player, the club, and the agent. They all three want different things. They all three have different interests. It's sad to say, but many agents don't have their best interests of their client. They just look at them as a cash cow, and it's a business. But yeah, specific to Arsenal, there's something wrong with us. Like, we're not tying down players. Like, my belief is, I don't know what the ins and outs of the club, but my beliefs are clearly this. If you want to, with the model that we have of allegedly only having 50 mil and things like that, and the club use language like self-sustaining, they make commitments like once every 2 years a first team player comes from the academy or is a young pro that progresses. With these sort of things, to challenge, you'll never be able to challenge the way Liverpool's going now, City and United. You'll never be able to have money like that. You'll never be able to be as, I'm not saying they're careless, but we'd have to watch our pennies a bit more if we all went Selfridges to buy designer clothes than United, if you get what I'm saying. So there's two ways. You either make sure your scouting's on point, and you can find these gems or stuff. And not everybody has to be Kylian Mbappe, but just little signings like a Kante. When Arsenal bought Sagna, who I weren't watching Sagna when he was at Oxley, and he came and was a consistent player. I won't say that too many times because he's a pagan, but you get what I'm saying. You need to do things like that. You need to give your young players the best opportunities that you want to reach first team by actually playing them in the first team and tying down their contracts with 18 months left. Like, when it gets to the last 18 months, 12 months, we should be starting these talks. We're letting players run down contracts, so we're not able to sell people on for more money and get good money and allow that to be reinvested into the club. Or our assets that we deem we want to sell, we're not getting top dollar. There's a lot of things wrong, and I don't know. Again, all clubs are having this issue with young players departing, but I'm an Arsenal fan, so specific to my club, there's bitter pills to swallow, because you look at João Virginia, for example, he was very optimistic about his chances of making it at Arsenal. If you look at his interviews and stuff and how he spoke about when Wenger was here and playing on the training, on the checking and things, he didn't play too tough at the Euro Under-19s Championships, but they won it. And he had a good season last year at youth level for the Under-18s, but they won it. So with all of that, and it looks like he's coming up a level, he's now departed the club. Chris Willock, he was playing up a level when he departed the club. Jeff Rene Adelaide came back from a good loan spell, departed the club. Josh De Silva, contract being ran down because of our laxed approach. Good season for the Under-23s, departed the club. Dragomir, for all his ability, needed to step up, departed the after he departed. He stuck up for the Under-23s, had a good season, stepped up to that level, was on the bench for the Europa League, departed the club. But Nasir as well, departed the club. There's a theme, there's a theme. Gnabry as well, we can take it way back, people. Marlon, you can throw Crowley into that, but it didn't look like it was happening for Dan Crowley here, so we can't always just get onto these clubs and things like that. But for a club that claims there's a pathway, something's clearly wrong if these young players don't believe they can make it to the point where McGrain, for whatever reason, will concede he has more of a chance of making it at Barcelona. Obviously, I'm being a bit harsh. That was probably a complicated decision of his. Probably wanted a different lifestyle. Obviously, playing for Barcelona B, living in a different country and all of them things. But you get the point. Even if we look at scholarship level, we saw Ovi that now went to Liverpool, and I think he's on loan at Rangers. Previously, was at our club and rejected a scholarship. Okoflex, the young midfielder, departed us to go Celtic. Okonkwo, the young goalkeeper, who we basically had to beg to sign that scholarship, and there was bare willy won't he finally signed it. So there's a problem if scholars are leaving, if talented young players are leaving. We've still got some talented players here, but there has to be something, because you go back 10 years or so, when we were proper in our banter period, as people would say, you were saying Arsenal's one of the places for young players to be. People were craving to come to Arsenal. You knew Arsenal and young players, we might be on a banter team, but you get chances. Again, you can't have 11 young 18-year-olds and expect to win league titles. You need a balance of experience and other things we don't need to talk about that are too complex for this video and we don't need to get into. But you get the point in it, people. I'm sure you get the point of what I'm trying to get at. I don't know what's wrong at this club, but something needs to be pinpointed and it needs to be addressed ASAP, because this is another reason why we're falling behind. Guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest if you wish. I'm out. Thanks for watching and sticking with me.